back to California with my Husho, GJ. On our way there, we usually stop at the lounges. This flight was pretty long. We went from Minneapolis to Seattle down to Sacramento. It was like 6-7 hours of flight time. And then in total, with the 2 hours at the airport, it was a long time to get back. We did a brief stop in Seattle before we made it right into Sacramento. And when we got to Sacramento, it was really rainy and super windy. This is actually for the curse ceremony. And this is where GJ got hit by the door of the car. Here is my Husho driving us to Trader Joe's. We usually do a quick stop. I wanted to get some gifts for the clients. And then, of course, we needed water and snacks for the hotel room. We are doing a much longer stay. If I recall correctly, we flew in on a Wednesday and we flew out on a Sunday. So we were actually in Sacramento for quite a while. I love the Trader Joe's in Roseville, California, which is a suburb of Sacramento. And then we ended up having dinner at our client's house that night, which we did meet the whole family and their beautiful little puppy. And they were absolutely so sweet. The food was amazing. They made kapwan. And they went and got these spring rolls, which were really, really good. The spring rolls actually have the crispy egg roll inside, so it was very crunchy. It was delicious. Thank you so much, you guys, for having dinner for us on our first night in California. Here we are going to our hotel. And personally, I like to stay in Roseville, California. Again, it's just a suburb of Sacramento. I am a Marriott girl. I am losing my voice today. However, it's not because I ornang for a long time yesterday. It is because I got sick. Oh man, I'm gonna have to vlog all about all the stuff that happened leading up to it and how I got sick the night of into the morning, but I still went through with the oneng. And of course, it is the curse day ceremony. I did get sick the night right before the ceremony. I was totally fine leading up to it. And then bam, I got completely sick. I lost my voice knowing that I had to do 3 ceremonies back to back. It was definitely tough, but I got through it. And of course, my amazing students, Liz and Scott, they have their own YouTube channel, Soul and Self Collective. They ended up coming to loan me their bench for all 3 days of the ceremony. And every morning they went to Starbucks and got me this medicine ball drink. And it was so much needed. Thank you, thank you. See how windy it was? And right after the curse ceremony, it was beautiful. It was really crazy. I am literally dying here, in case you guys can't tell. The candle was going bonkers on the curse day. Here I am just talking to my students, getting them prepared, answering their questions about the ceremony. And my clients, they are so blessed. Okay, this is a peach tree. They just have 2 peach trees in their backyard. And they have a ton of fruit growing in their backyard. And these oranges were so delicious. They were super juicy. They gave us a ton of oranges to bring home. I absolutely loved it. It was so good. Thank you to Maya and Peter. What is it? Oh my God! Just bought the ring. I got another one. Chocolate crepe wafer cookies.
Oh, I want a bite of that.
I do love freeze-dried candy. I brought freeze-dried candy. Oh my God. And which one is which? Molly swears this is the best flavor. So I'm super excited to try this one. Oh, I don't know if I have this one. Oh, there's a green apple. I do like the mango. I've had the mango. I've actually had the banana. Oh, I don't think I've had the lychee. Thank you so much. Afterwards, we headed to my student's house so I could watch her oneng. Whenever I'm in town, I do like to see them oneng in person. A lot of times we have to do them virtually. GJ finally got to see the famous harp. And then, of course, we watched my student oneng, and then we hung out for the rest of the evening before we ended up having dinner at K-Town. I am addicted to K-Town. It is a all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue that you go and grab all your own food. I love this place. They are super good in Roseville, California. The food is great, and the company was better.
Be safarian in her natural habitat.
Ceremony day 2. All right, you guys, here we go. Round 2. This time it was actually for the mother and the 2 daughters who were not married because they were not included in the curse ceremony yesterday. And their ceremony was a lot easier, especially to Hupli. They listen very well. And I gotta say, every day I kept waking up, and I felt terrible for GJ because I would wake up around 4 or 5 in the morning just coughing like crazy. And then when GJ was finally awake, even though she's in the bed right next to me, I would turn to her and I would tell her, I swear, I'm getting better. And then because I was so sick, I did not put the water in my mouth and spray it on my clients. I instead used my hands. And then as usual, after a ceremony, I like to spend time to do a deep dive of everything I saw and witnessed and what did we do for the clients during the ceremony. Yeah, the OGs like it.
It's easy to impress them. All you gotta do is, butter them up with a stick of butter. And they like it, they're like, oh,
You're so cringe.
that's how they are though.
So my clients and my students, we all went to the mall to go to round 1. And GJ absolutely was super stoked about going to round 1 because GJ lived in Japan for 3 years. And she has never found a round 1 since then. And they used to go to round 1 all the time. Round 1, if you don't know, is basically a massive Dave & Buster's mixed with claw machines. And this place was massive. Honestly, there was not a lot of people there either. If this place was in Minnesota, it would be completely poppin'. Literally, there's so many claw machines with a ton of plushies, and all of the games were a lot of fun. We stayed here for an insanely long amount of time. Here I am seeing my student. Liz, of course, already won a stuffed plushie. And here's GJ. GJ was obsessed. GJ is obsessed with Tony Chopper. He is a One Piece character from the anime. And she kept trying this poor machine so many times. My client, they actually won this, though. But GJ could not get Tony Chopper. And each gameplay, it's like a couple bucks each time you do a claw machine. And then Liz was freaking out because I was watching her. She swears she didn't do it as well because I was right there. There was just too much pressure on her. But she did eventually win this because her husband, Scott, he was able to win it for her. So she did get this one later. But I did have to leave or else it wasn't going to happen. GJ loves DDR. And these are some pretty, they had a few of these. And there were some very full body extreme ones too, where they catch your whole body. So after this, GJ wanted to go do the whole body one. Look at that face. Look at that face of pure joy. And And then afterwards, we went back to my hotel room where we filmed for Liz and Scott's YouTube channel. And it was just so nice to be featured on there. And I felt terrible because my voice was so bad. And then afterwards, we went to dinner.
25, GJ, slow down.
I'm following traffic.
There's nobody in front of us. 35 now. You see that? It's 35.
Day 3 of the ceremonies. So this one is for the other daughter who is actually married. And this ceremony was so interesting. You know, I've never done a ceremony for a place where the land was bad. And this was definitely my first. So it was a lot. It was very interesting. It was very, very interesting during the ceremony. But it was a good ceremony for my clients. And I do want to do a shout out to Liz. She was my camera woman and she was absolutely amazing. Because usually it's my hushas who are trying to help me film. But at the same time, they have to watch me oneng. So they can't actually film me a lot of the times. So I did ask one of my students to help. And she did a great job. Phenomenal. Huge shout out to you. And that's why you guys are getting a lot more clips than you normally would. Here is GJ burning the mahjong. And refilling incense sticks during my ceremony. And I really appreciate my hushas because while I'm onenging, they have to talk to the clients and confirm certain things. So she always does a great job at that. And then here I am doing a debriefing of what I did during the ceremony for them. And my clients, they offered me a chow chow. You guys, this broke my heart. I have always wanted a chow chow. And these are puppies. They are about 3 to 4 months old. However, my Kwaneng told me no. They very kindly reminded me that I do not have the lifestyle to have a puppy right now. Before I raised Shaman Memoirs, I almost got a purse puppy. I know chow chows are not purse puppies, but my Kwaneng reminded me I'm doing a lot of traveling and I work a lot. I just don't have that commitment. But they are so beautiful. And then, of course, we ended up having our lunch. The food was amazing, as always. I absolutely adore my clients. This is my favorite dish, the boiled pork. And then we went to go visit JDM Eats, where they actually have a food truck. But they were doing a pop-up because they had their tools stolen. And I just gotta tell you guys, those of you in Sacramento, you have to hit them up. Their food was really good. And my students, they were such butts, okay? They were watching me eat this. And they thought I was acting. They thought I was lying. And I literally gave them so much flack for that. I was trying to block her from trying to not let me pay. But they gave me so much flack for this because the food was really good. And then they ended up trying it. And then they were like, oh, you weren't lying. And I'm like, are you guys, like, come on, you guys. This is their famous Hmong tacos, which is actually ngaicha in a taco form. And it was so good, you guys. It was so juicy and so amazing. And then their Korean bao buns, also super good. Really, really good. My students and I, between me and my students, we literally ordered everything on their menu. And this was probably just 40 minutes after we finished eating at the other ceremony. We had their loaded fries, their papaya salad. It was just all super good. And then I love, my favorite pastimes, you guys, is going to local grocery stores whenever I travel. I love to look around at prices and see what's popular. And of course, what are their produce and what are the items that they eat. It tells me a lot about the locals. So I love going to grocery stores whenever I travel. It's probably really weird to people, but I love doing this.
I don't know. What is it? It's a baby banana.
I don't know what this is. No, because then there's a brown coconut and then there's this one.
And of course, I always look for Joss paper and incense sticks. I need to know what everyone carries, how much it costs. And then we went to the infamous Red Hawk Casino. You guys in Sacramento, you guys are so lucky. You have an all-you-can-eat lobster and crab buffet. That does not exist in Minnesota. We have a crab buffet, but it's only like the last 2 Thursdays of the month at one casino, and there is no lobster involved. And on top of that, you guys had so much amazing food at this buffet. Literally, we do not have this at our own casinos, okay? You guys had steak upon steak. You had so many things here. And the lobster, I feel sad. I could only eat 3, but it was still amazing. And this same casino has a go-kart in the casino. So, of course, Liz and them, they did go on the go-kart ride. And it was so crazy cool. It was so much fun. They have all of these games that you could play while you're at the casino, so the kids are entertained at the arcade. Now, Red Hawk was about 45 minutes from our hotel in Roseville, California. There is Liz. Look at that speed demon. The line for this was really long, you guys. That's why we did not do it. Okay, let's see what Scott can get to. $802. Here comes GJ. GJ can hit as hard as Scott.
I literally sounded terrible all weekend long.
And then finally, it was our day to go back home. And here is my amazing Husha grabbing all of the luggage. You know, I think for GJ, she knew how miserable I was on the last day, you guys. On the last day, as we are literally returning home on the flight, I swear I started to go into my fever. And I was just absolutely miserable. Look at GJ. She's such a good Husho. She's putting everything away in the car. And my suitcase there had all my tools, you guys. It was super, super heavy.
She almost hit me with the door. Can't believe that. It's so windy.
On our way to the airport, we did stop and have lunch. I had some clients from the Bay Area. They drove down to actually meet up. They are so freaking sweet, you guys. And then I forgot my student actually gave me these cough drops from Laos, and they actually work. They just taste like grape flavor. But my clients from the Bay Area, thank you guys so much for coming down and spending your time and choosing to spend your time with me. I always appreciate everyone who tries to spend time with me. I just wish I had more time on these trips to spend it with everybody. And then before you know it, we're back at the airport. We did a long trip. It was from Sacramento, and then it was Denver, and I was breaking out in my fever. And in Denver, you have to run 150 gates to get to your next gate. And then we flew back home to Minnesota. And here's a small clip of how miserable I am. I'm just losing it, you guys. I am just losing it on that last leg of the flight. But finally, I have made it back to Minnesota.